The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Can everyone do the usual? You know what it is. We've got Chelsea online, we've got Cullen, we've got Danny Baldasso. Danny Baldasso, I was actually about to send you a Snapchat, mate, because you wouldn't believe what I'm doing right now. I'm going to send you a Snapchat, and there we go. You're going to get that in a second. We've got Jerusha online. We've got Nick Cook. And we've got Sean. Sean, what's going on, man? First time I've seen you on a webinar. Welcome. So can everyone just do the usual jump on, let me know you can hear me, let me know you can see me. All right, we got Chelsea. Hey, Luke. What is this thing? I'm going to record to cloud. Computer. All right. We're going to get started in a couple of minutes, guys. Oh my gosh. All right, so I got Danny. Hello, big fella. Make sure it's recording. Dan, it said it. It's not recording to the cloud. It's recording on my computer. It's definitely saying recording. So, Colin, love the hair, mate. Worked hard for this thing. I tell you, I got a story behind it, man. That my hairdresser is she's just had a baby, so I had to go to a different hairdresser. She chopped it wrong. So the last couple of months, mate, I've been walking around with a hairdo that I'm a little bit embarrassed about. So I went hunting for this new hairdresser. I tested her on a few questions and I hired her, and then I got a chop yesterday, and I'm pretty happy with it. So yeah, it's a risky thing getting your hair cut when you care about your hair. Chelsea, hey Luke, Daniel, loud and clear, sir. Sean, yes, hey, I'm always on these. I'm sure you're on them, mate, but I haven't seen you when I've been on them, or I haven't done one in a couple of weeks. Ruth, hey Ruth. They can attend, ask all these questions. All right, I've got a few questions from Facebook. So, from what I want to do today is anyone that's got a question, I want to reward you for being here for starters. So, I want everyone to drop a question. Anything sales related. I know we're all at different levels here. So drop a question in the questions area. And if needs be, if it's not making sense, I'll just take you off mute and I'll speak to you. It's probably the easiest way to do it. But if it's a really straightforward question and I can read it and I can answer on the spot. So today is just an hour of power Q&A. I'm doing this till 6:30. So hurry up, smash your questions. Here we go, waiting. The time is ticking. All right, we've got Caroline's on. We've got Dylan. Layla. First time, Layla. First time I'm seeing you anyway. How you doing? We've got Maddie D. First time for you as well, mate. Welcome. And we've got Travis Cooper. This place is just full of newbies, which is good. So for anyone that didn't hear what I just said, we're doing 1 hour question, answer, anything sales related. It doesn't mean if you've been doing this for a year or you've just come in for the first day, week, month. Any question goes. Smash out a question in the questions tab, write it out, and I'll do my best to answer it for you. But we're going to need some questions here. Oh, here we go. They're popping up now. I always do this. I sit here and I get into you and I'm like, guys, give me some questions. You've been giving me questions the whole time, but I just don't get them. All right. They can't attend to ask these questions. Perfect. Okay. Ruth, all right. The first question. First question, Ruthie. Do you recommend the 3-step process, booking, warm, pitch, or 2 steps? I just worry that the longer it takes, the more time they're likely to go off track. All right. There's been a bit of confusion with this, everybody. There's been a bit of confusion because I understand that Ryan did the coach a couple of weeks ago, and he spoke about doing a 3-step process. Now, generally what we say is a 2-step process, usually based off how much you're selling the program for. So, for example, our program's $20,000, like you guys know. Now, if we tried to do that in a 2-step process, it's going to be very hard to build enough value in that short amount of time for someone to actually go and justify and have enough trust in this that they're going to smash down 20K, right? So why we extend it to 3 steps is that we give them the time to build that trust, to build the value, to educate them more. So then it comes to that point where they can actually make a decision on an investment that large. So usually with most of the people in this program, there are a few people that have higher end type programs. But for most of you, say with you, example, Ruth, is because your price point, I think from memory, yours is like 2.5K. Because it's a small investment, usually you don't need as much time to build the value, to build the trust and everything like that for them to justify parting with their money of 2.5K. Now, what Ryan was saying on that webinar was that if you want to help out with your sales process, to give more, because here's the thing, Ruth, is that you're worried about if they drop off, and there is kind of merit to that. You could look at it 2 ways. If you do a 3-step process, you got more time to build the trust, educate them more, and build the value. So then you give them so much value that when it comes time to make a decision, they're like, wow, this person's giving me so much value. It's only $2,000 or $2,500. No brainer, right? What you're saying, Ruth, is that you're worried they're going to drop off. Well, that happens because the more steps you got, the wider your funnel is, yeah? And the more steps they have to go and levels they got to go through, you've got a higher chance of them dropping. That's correct. So I would say, Ruth, my answer to that is that if you're struggling with sales, so guys, if you've been trying to make sales and it's just you're not getting yeses, I would say that you can look at doing the 3-step process to give more value and to give more time for them to be able to make that decision, right? But if you're just new to this thing, look, I don't know why you can't just jump into a 2-step process. So with you, Ruth, you've already I just called you Ruth. With yourself, you've already made a sale, as far as I know. So I would be saying with yourself, Ruth, just 2 steps. Hope that answers the question. Layla, hey Luke. I am approaching contacts on LinkedIn. Is there a specific way to approach the sales conversion? Approaching contacts on LinkedIn? Is there a specific way to approach the sales conversation? I'm like, sales conversion. What does that mean? Is there a particular way to approach the sales conversation through contacts? So this is people that you know. I don't know how well you know them. Okay, I'm just trying to think of your niche, Layla. It's helping women in business, female entrepreneurs. Okay. So what you're doing here, Layla, is you're basically helping people that haven't opted into any of your materials, and it's almost like a cold call in a way, but they know of you. Look, I mean, I've spoken to someone about this. You could almost... Who was it? Maybe Libby. I think Libby done this. Libby was actually sending, because she had Libby Davis. I'm pretty sure she was sending her link of her Facebook ad to her contacts, if that makes sense. So getting him to download the resource. So it's like, Layla, where as opposed to being like a hard sell, there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can go like really softly and say that, look, I've got this resource here, and it's like the 10 ways to whatever resource that you build for your marketing. You know, would you be interested in doing that? Here's the link to it. Check it out. And then wait a few days or a week and then come back in contact with them. And it's almost what we call a conversation lead, where you're opening up the chat and you're like, oh, I just want to check in. How'd you go with that thing? Da, 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 da. And then like just slowly weasel your way in there with a conversation. Or you can just cut the shit and go straight for it and call out, speak to these people and go, look, straight up, hey, my name's Layla. If they don't know, and look, I'm going to be doing this. I'm helping out with this. You know, did you want to have a did you want to chat about that, or did you want help with it, or is there any interest in that area? So Layla, I would say that could be your approach. If you've got a list of people, I mean, there's no reason why you can't. It's almost like take it as they are the leads. So you can just contact them straight up, like you do a booking call. And I mean, I don't know if you've got their phone number, but whether you're messaging them, is that going to work? Yeah, Layla, you know what? I would say cut the rubbish. You've already got these leads, you got the contacts of them, and just reach out to them and say, this is what you're doing. This is what you're doing. You know, can I help out with it? What I'm doing, I've got this free strategy session. It's like you're doing a booking intro. So I don't know if you've learned the booking intro yet, but you basically do your booking intro in a text form or a message form, and to see, you know, if they're interested from that, some you'll get interest, some you won't. Okay, next one. Colin, mine is about to change from looping and value to the pitch process itself. Mine is about to change from looping and value to the pitch process itself. Colin, no idea what you're talking about, mate. If that's important, please re-type. Nick Cook, how do you bring more leadership to the booking call, and how do you dig deeper into people's leverage on the booking call? All right, how do you bring more leadership? Okay, well, leadership, couple of things. We generally have there's two energies, right? There's love and there's leadership. So the way that people sell, we're always going to have like a dominating area. So we're either going to have a dominating love trait, or we're going to have a dominating leadership. So love is you're being their best friend, you're really caring about them. It's almost like if you sell with love, is that you'll make a lot of friends, but you'll be a pushover, yeah? And when it comes time to asking for the sale, you got no legs to stand on. So that's like an extreme end of love. Now, extreme end of leadership is I always say like the army colonel type thing, where it's like, you know, like an arsehole, really just straight down the line, no heart. I'm sorry for this, any colonels out there right now watching this that do have a heart. I'm sure there is. But it's extreme. It's like they don't give a shit. They're like, you got to be fucking doing this, calling them out nonstop, no heart at all. Now, like we said, is that you want to have a high level of both, high level of leadership, high level of love. That's what makes the best salespeople and the best coaches ultimately. So all of us will always have a dominating area. It's either love or leadership. So mine, for example, I'm naturally better at leadership. Love's my stretch. And when I first joined Winning, I was shocking at love. I'm way better at it now, but it's still my stretch. I'm naturally better at leadership. But then a lot of you, your love will be at your top. Your stretch will be your leadership. So how do you bring that leadership up? Well, how I brought it up is that I had to, for one, if I'm like, okay, love, well, I've got to start really connecting to my heart. So I did meditation. I just started getting really vulnerable in my life. I expressed emotions on every opportunity I got, normally when I would hold back. In my rituals, morning rituals, I'd really focus on in the gratitude song and also the third song. So just really connecting to my heart and the feminine energy. And then on my calls, one thing that Ryan got me to do is be really over the fucking top. With my love. So like I remember I'd be like on the phone, I'd be like, oh, Hayley, you're such an amazing woman. Oh my God. And I was just like, I was saying this shit and I'm like, I felt like the biggest douche. I'm going red now thinking of it because like it was so out of character for me. You know what I mean? To do that because it wasn't naturally me. But the idea is that when you do something over the top, it's just going to slowly come up. So with you, Nick, is that, okay, well, if you're looking at raise your leadership, well, song 2 in your ritual is a real masculine leadership type song, an opportunity to really practice your leadership. So playing full out on that. The next thing is that you actually do rants. So just like I was speaking on the phone and doing this love thing, and I was doing role plays with the other guys and just expressing love and emotion. Ryan, you're such an amazing guy. Like I really respect everything that you're doing and really feeling it. Man, you do the exact same thing for leadership where it's over the fucking top. So you can just sit there in your room and you can just do a booking call or a looping process. I don't know if, Nick, you were at the last retreat. On the Saturday, we were doing round tables, and my group I was getting everyone to rant on stuff, rant on their truth. I don't know if you saw it where we're kind of yelling and stuff like that. That's high leadership, yeah? So you can rant on that. You don't need people. All you do is stand in a room. You can walk, you're in your car, you can walk in the park, and you're ranting on your truth, or you're ranting, looping, and just pretend someone says, I don't have the money. You're just fucking saying, and you're just going over the top. Well, that's fucking bullshit that you don't have the money. Don't have the money. You're just not fucking committed to this. Everyone's got fucking access to money when they're committed to something. Everyone has got access to money when they want something bad enough. So what you want to do with it, Nick, is you want to go over the top with it. Because then naturally, when you get on the phone, is that your leadership, which maybe is down here, will start to slowly climb up. That was my way of getting around it. So that's my advice. And you also asked, how do you dig deep into people's leverage in the booking call? All right. Well, one thing you got to be careful about leverage on a booking call, man, right, is that this is the first time you've spoken to this person. Yeah. Now, is someone that doesn't know who the fuck you are going to open up their heart and give you everything on the booking call? Most likely not, because like, who's this Nick dude? So for you to dive massively deep into leverage on the booking call, I do it on the warm. I normally recommend for people to do it maybe partially on the booking call, yeah? So when partially on the booking call, it's like, all right, sweet. So you're down my resource on you wanted to lose weight, yeah? So why exactly do you want to lose weight? Or why exactly did you download that resource? And they're like, you know, you can just do the 5 why thing. Oh, because, yeah, I'm overweight, I'm overweight, da-da-da-da. Cool, so you want to lose weight. Well, why exactly? Because everyone's got different reasons why they want to lose weight. Oh, because, you know, I've just been unhealthy and I want to feel better. Like, yeah, cool, I get that, man. That's awesome that you want to feel better. What's the reason behind why you want to feel better? Oh, because, you know, I'm struggling to get up in the morning. And yeah, look, my kids as well. I'm struggling to get, oh, yeah, awesome. So, look, why is it that you want to have energy for your kids? So this is an easy why thing you can do in a minute, which is good to get like kind of that type of leverage, I think. The next leverage, which is more of a deeper leverage, I guess, is I think it's more on a pitch, man. It's on a second call because they're going to have to, by then they would have trusted you a little bit more. And usually what I do around that is obviously at the start of the call, I say, this is what we're going through. We're going this. Then we're going to go through your purpose and your why behind really why you want to actually do this and change and make it and actually get the body that you want or everything like that. Because, you know, this is going to be really like your secret weapon to making a change. If you've got a really strong reason to, then that will help you make the change and help you face the discomfort or the challenge that you're going to face. So when you get into it later on that call, you say, all right, well, let's now talk about leverage. Like I was saying, leverage is the most important thing for you to change. Yeah, I could give you the strategy. I could tell you how to exercise. I could tell you how to eat right. But if you don't have a leverage, a strong reason for you to change, then what's going to happen is temporarily you may follow it, but long term, you won't. You'll go back to your old ways. And the last thing I want to do is, you know, temporarily help you out. I want lifelong results. So what I want to do here is kind of get like your story behind, what's happened, like how have you got to this point in your life? And what's your reason why you must fucking change, yeah? And if you want to get a bit of an idea on, my leverage and my story, like what's happened to me to get to where I am, like why I'm a PT, why I become a PT, and my leverage to become the best PT or make my business work, I'm happy to share my ideas if you want to get a few ideas. But if you're happy to jump straight into this, go for it. But if you want me to jump in to get a few ideas, I'm happy to do that as well. So from there, Nick, if they say, yeah, jump in, they share their ideas, sweet. You got to test. If they say you go first and they're not comfortable, yeah? So you share you have to get massively vulnerable, Nikki, because the more vulnerable you get, the more they're going to get. If you tell a story with this level of vulnerability, they're going to most likely match it. If you go real deep, most likely they're going to get close to it. But if you tell a real surface level vulnerability story about, I'm a PT because, I just like health and fitness. And, my leverage to, be the best PT in health, fitness and make my coaching business work is because, I just want a good life. They'll most likely reply the same way because they'll be like, well, I don't want to like come in and tell this person that my week and my secrets and shit like that. But if you go real deep with it, this is what happened to me. I got into health and fitness because I was overweight here and I got bullied here and this happened. I found I just turned to food and I had, my family was like, they also ate a lot. What are this shit, man? While you're saying it, they're going to have very similar things that happen to them. It's going to make them feel comfortable to also share. Nikki, if you haven't already watched it, there's a webinar that I've done on leverage. It's under the Sales Accelerators webinar, Sales Accelerator, Leverage. If you haven't watched it, watch it. Next one. That was a long one. See, we're running out of time, guys. Make your answers a bit shorter, Luke, will you? All right, Travis Cooper. Every time I see your name, man, I think of Alice Cooper, if you know who that is. Best way to drop the price of the program in potential clients. Best way to drop the price of the program to potential clients. Need a little bit more context to that, man, as in when? Booking, pitch. It's like, what I like to it's all about seeding, right? So what's an example? I'll do it without. I can't even remember, mate. Okay, so when I speak to coaches, right, we talk about what are they going to put in their program. So I say, let's just say it's a career coach, right? I say, what are you going to put in your program? What's it made up of? And they're going to say, first thing is to assess the person where they're at. Next is work out where they want to get to, create an action plan how to get to it. And then I talk to them, one thing you want to put in there is performance coaching, which is making sure they're keeping them accountable to do the work. Now, for example, with us, what we do is this. Yeah. And ultimately, within your program, the value in it is not the strategy. So it's not from you teaching them how to do this. What the real value comes from is you getting them and keep them accountable to take action. So what I'm doing here is I'm basically telling them what we do in our program, and two, when I come and talk about our program, yeah, and obviously our programs, there's a higher investment compared to most. Because I've spoken about one thing and I've explained the importance of it, when I talk about our program, they're going to start seeing, oh shit, there's more value. So they're not going to go compare us against other business programs and go, oh, well, they got $5,000 program, but yours is $20K. They're going to start seeing, because, well, they don't have performance coaches, we do, and things like that. We don't have coaches here and there, marketing coaches and sales coaches. They will start realizing, oh shit, but I've done it in an indirect way. I've seeded that. So, Travis, you got to do it something like that, but I kind of need more context with it. This is where I fall over. Colin, Ruth, yay. Caroline, I know I post in the groups, but I'd like some clear direction on exactly what we should send in terms of resources. Program page between booking and pitch call. Should we get them to send the work back before the next session? What should the program page include? Geez Louise. Caroline Silk. You know what? This is a question I don't really have a good answer to. I know I posted the group resources. Okay, so obviously the resources, I'm not going to give you a direct answer here, Caroline. It's like getting them from call to call is that it's just bridging that gap, right? Now, on that, I'll tell you what we do, right? So between our calls, we've got booking, 3 tutorials, warm, 2 tutorials, pitch. Basically, what we're doing through those tutorials is that, number one, we're educating and giving them massive value. Yeah. Now, not only are we educating and giving massive value and talking about how to structure this model, this business model, we're also conditioning them on who they need to be to make this thing work. Yeah. Because if we don't condition them and all of a sudden we get to the end, it's like, man, all right, let's get this thing started. Well, they're going to be like, whoa, what the hell? Like, shit, man, I take 5 months to make a decision and all that type of thing. So in our tutorials, what we're doing is giving them value, educating them, and conditioning them on who they need to be to actually make it, like actually be in the program and get results, basically. So without giving you a direct answer on that, Caroline, food for thought, value, educate. So educate and give value. And then something in there conditioning them, which is going to help for them getting into the position of the person that is right for your program ultimately. All right. Hey, beautiful. It's put me in the wrong call for some reason. Was waiting like an idiot. That was Dean. All right, mate. See you later. Ryan confused us. Caroline Silk. I'm assuming that's talking about the 3-step. Ruth, save it for the premium program. Thanks. Layla, not too well. Colin, can you give me more info about targeting LinkedIn for my niche? Colin, I can give you 0 info about targeting LinkedIn in my niche. I'm not the marketing dude, so that's a question for Dan. Is this the man? Jerusha, hey Luke, I'm here for a short time as I have to work in 20 minutes, but I'll watch the replay. Thanks for living up. No probs. Layla, yes, makes sense. I will send the resource and tell them what I wanted to share with them. Awesome. Colin, okay, so I'm going through the issues, the roadblocks, prescribing solutions, giving case studies, and then go to the are you ready to step up? This is where I lose it. Alrighty, so I'm going through all the issues, roadblocks. All right. This is where you lose it. So you've gone through all that and you're ready to step up and then they say no. When someone says no, right? When someone, well, it's Colin, is it like, are they like, I have to do this, but time, money, partner? Or are they, like, I can't do this, the time, money, and then you loop it and it's like, I can't do this, no. There's 2, I just had one before. It's like, most people will have a challenge, right, to before they join your program. Most people, half the people at least, will have some objection or challenge in the way. Whether it's money, speaking to the partner, time, doubting themselves, whatever it is, right? There's a difference between people that are like, Luke, I fucking want to do this so bad, I need to do it. This is my challenge. How do I get around this? Compared to, Luke, yeah, look, man, I don't have the money. I just don't have the time. It's this, or 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 this. Way different between the 2 people. People here, where it's like, they give you, they're just fighting for excuses. Can't do it because of money. Nah, can't do it. The time's not going to work. Now, if they're fighting for excuses, guys, you're not going to fucking close them. It doesn't matter how good you are at looping. You can loop for days. They're fighting for excuses. Number one, you have to get them on the side of, if they're giving objections, they have to get them on the side of that, I need, and I really want to do this and I really need to do it. I've just got a challenge in the way right now. Whatever it is. When you're getting on that side where it's like, look, are you trying to make this work or are you looking for fucking excuses and looking for a way out? If they're looking for excuses and a way out, you're not gonna close them, guys. You gotta get them on the other side. And you're gonna literally say exactly what I'm saying right now to them. Look, Miss Prospect. Right now, look, I speak to so many people. I see everything that you're fucking saying right now. Are you like, I don't get it. Like, do you actually want to do this thing? Yeah. But I'm like, all right, sweet. Well, just like, I just want to know if like you really want to do it, because this is what I'm seeing right now is that there's two types of people in this circumstance where I get it. You got challenges in your life and like that. Everyone, like most people do, half the people that join our program do. But there's two people. There's people that have a challenge. They're like, Luke, I have to do this. I really want to do it. This is in the way though. Like, can you help me out? What do I do here? Compared to, this excuse, I can't do it because of this. Now, right now, you're on the side of, I can't do it because this, which means that you're not really committed to this thing. You don't really want to do it. And if that's the fucking case, I can't help you out. Yeah, I really want to help you out if you really want to do this and you're committed to it. But right now, you're not. So where are you? Honestly, like, do you really need this fucking thing? Do you really want to do it? Now, Colin, saying this, I want to put a disclaimer on this, guys, but this is the approach that I take. If you take this approach, you better be good at what you fucking do, because if you do this is a really easy way out for people, yeah? So as soon as you say this, if you haven't done a good job in the sales process and wanting them and needing them to actually do it, they'll easily go, yeah, you're right, I'm not committed, right? Which ultimately unveils the real problem in all this. It's not the objection. It's not your looping capabilities. It's that you're not doing a good enough job to get them to need and want to do your program. Yeah. I say this a million times. Everyone will be like, what the fuck do I say to money and partner and time and stuff like that? It's not the partner, time and money thing. It's the easiest thing, guys. You're having a conversation. As long as someone needs and wants to do your program so bad, it is the easiest thing in the world. It really is, because it's someone needs and wants to have a program, and your rule is, ready? This is your rule. Anyone that gets started and joins my program, they get started and they make a decision today. The rule is why I do it, because it clearly draws a line in the sand between people who are committed and people who are just curious on this thing. And obviously, if you're going to come in this thing, I'm going to need you to be committed for me to get your results, right? So it separates the people that are fucking really serious and people who are just joking and mucking around. So that's the first thing, right? I don't even know what I was saying. I have no idea where I was going with that. All right, well, it was something to do with looping. There's a line in the sand, so I say you've got to be on this side or this side. Nah, it's gone. It's gone. Who's next? I'll remember that in a minute, guys. I'll come back to it. Colin, so I'm going through the issues, roadblocks, prescribing solution. Nick Cook, what are the most important things to seed and when? What are the most important things to seed and when? The most important things to seed, Cookalicious, is who they need to be to get results in your program. So, for example, obviously, if you're going to ask them to make you're going to ask them to make a decision on the spot. You need to be talking about being comfortable jumping into things before you're really ready. Yeah? So that's what you kind of want to be seeding. That's the message that you put throughout your process. The next thing is that what else you got to be seeding, which is important. So you got to seed that, well, of course, they've got to be committed, and what the real meaning of commitment means. Yeah. The real meaning of commitment means that you want to do whatever it takes. You won't give up no matter what. You understand the sacrifices, and then you still want to do it. Yeah. Now, when you do these things, scattered across all the calls. For me to think about it right on the spot now where I do my specific parts. I don't have an answer for you regarding specific parts, Nick. So, but I would say the most important thing to see is who they really need to be. Yeah. Because if you really, say you, for example, you meet someone or you get in contact with your first prospect and basically where their standards are in life, because Nick, I know you're in health and fitness, that they're right here, they need to come up to here. Yeah. So you need to raise standards massively. So one thing to raise standards, look, on your calls is that you don't want to be doing a sales call. And that's why a lot of the time that people are getting objections and they're like, oh, look, it sounds good, but just the price is too much, because ultimately they're just not seeing the value in it, right? Now, if you just do a sales call where you're like, all right, hey, how you going? I noticed that you're downloading my resource. Sweet. So I'm looking for blah, 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 blah. Tell me about your health and fitness, or tell me about your life, tell me about your career, tell me what's going on. And you're like, oh, yeah, awesome. Oh, yeah, cool. So, what do you want to change? What do you want to change about your health? And, oh, yeah, nice. If in an ideal world, what's your ideal world? Stuff like this. Just bullshit sales stuff, yeah? Now, what you want to do is this is a coaching, your coaching calls, guys. I know it's sales, but I treat my sales calls as coaching. I'm literally coaching this person in who they need to be, right? So this is the end of, if they're going to be right for the program, they need to be here. When I first speak to them, they're down here. Now, if I just do a sales process where I'm like, here, this is my glossy brochure. It does this. It's all about this. Yeah. There's no growth in that, right? So I've got to raise their standards. So if I know they've got to be up here and they're down here when I first speak to them, so I'm looking for any opportunity to fucking call them out, to raise their standards, to lift their game, so they grow into that person, their awareness like opens up. They realize that they're capable of more than they thought they were previously. So an example of that is everything from language. So I was speaking to a dude before, and I asked him a question, and he answered the question in 30 seconds, and in 4 times he said, I suppose. So I said, tell me about what you're going to put in your program around exercise. He's like, I suppose da-da-da-da-da, I suppose this, I suppose that, I suppose that. And I said, all right, before we move on, I just want to pick you up on one thing. Yeah. One thing is the language that you used in all that, which was you started, every sentence with, I suppose. Now, what do you think, I suppose, by you speaking, I suppose, what do you think that's actually kind of, if you turn it around, what it's actually saying to yourself? And he's like, well, I guess I'm doubting myself, and and I don't believe in myself, and I'm like, you're correct. And what it is that you're uncertain. Now, people buy into certainty. And this is a pattern that I dare say that you probably run a lot in your life. If you jump in the sales call, for example, and you're not certain, then people are going to pick that and they're going to feel it. And then all of a sudden that they won't want to buy what you've got. So you've got to show up massively certain. So what I was talking about here, Cookie, is that this is an example where it's got nothing really to do with what I'm talking about, nothing to do with program, but I'm looking for areas to coach them. Because all of a sudden, I go through this massive thing, which is off track, and I'm like, I suppose. And then I asked him again, the next thing went on there, and he started with I suppose, and he's like, oh shit. And I'm like, yeah, okay, you suppose what? What's the opposite of that? He's like, I know. And he's like, I know, answer. And then major difference to slightly uncertain, disempowered, to now he's got like, shit, I can do this. I'm confident, I'm empowered. And when you ask someone to make a decision up here, you got a way more chance of them belief that they can make this thing work despite their challenges, yeah? But if you ask them to make a decision down here, disempowered version, don't have the money, don't have the fucking time, partner, all that stuff, right? Because remember, you meet them and their life is here in this area that you're coaching, right? I'm not talking about your whole life in general, just in your niche. Remember, they've got to get up here. So you've got to coach them to get them to that level, which comes from you calling them out. And it's not like it has to be a fucking intense call out. Like there was no issues in that. You didn't get offended or anything like that. But I said, look, before we move on, I just want to bring up one language pattern, which I know will muck you up long term, which I know I want to get rid of right now before we move on this thing. I know it's small, but it's going to add up. And you've probably got 20, 30 of these going throughout your life right now. All right. Luke, I can help Caroline with this. Layla, thank you very much. Please do. Great Chang. Great Chong. Is that, I'm assuming it's you, Gary? Guys, about 20 minutes. Luke, what are your key tips on the pitch on getting the client to feel necessity to join your program, to feel the necessity? Is that a necessity? What are the key tips in the pitch on getting the client to feel necessity to join your program, no matter what, rather than you trying to sell it to them? I'm going to read this question again. What are your key tips in the pitch on getting a client to feel the necessity to join your program, no matter what, rather than you trying to sell it to them? Oh, all right. Good question, Gaz. Real good question. Real good question, mate. Real good bloody question. All right, I'll give you an example of this one of the recent guys pulled in, and this does happen every now and then, right? So they'll be like, I'm like, all right, so, okay, I'll tell you about the program. It's investments this, deposits this. Just to let you know, anyone that joins our program, we get started on the day of, like today, deposits are done today. Why we do it? Draws a line in the sand between people who are committed and not committed. And then I go through the rest of the program. All right, and then I say, okay, so what I want to do here, once I've gone through the program, I say, okay, so what I want to do here, John, is I just want to go through and see, ultimately have a conversation around if this thing's right for you. And if it is, John, we'll do it, we'll make it work. But if it's not, we're not going to do it. Really black and white, yeah? This thing's right for you, we'll work it out, we're going to do it. If it's not, we're not going to do it. Either way's fine. So is it cool we have a conversation around that? Yeah. So, man, I just want to get feelings like, where's your head at? After everything I've said, everything we've gone through, where's your head at? Oh, yeah, look, I want to do it, but this. Don't have the money. Or now isn't the right time, or wherever it is, right? What's that original question again? I've lost it. I'm really struggling to remember these questions. The key tips. Okay. All right, so you're kind of like, how do you get it across somewhere? The reason why you're asking for it on the spot, they think you're trying to get the sale. You're like this. All right. So from there, he's talking about, okay, all the reason that's going on. I can't do it because of this. Can't do it because of this. Can't do it because of that. I'm like, yeah, that's sweet, man. I'm just like, well, do you actually want to do this? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, because here's the thing, is that the reason why is we get people to take action is because it draws a line in the sand between whether you're committed to this thing or not. And what is this thing? The necessary. I'm going blank again, guys. That's what I was talking about. So this guy said, he goes, man, after like looping for a while, he goes, look, man, I know that like you're a salesperson and you're just trying to get the sale here. But look, this is just what it is here. Like that's just my case and everything like that. And I'm like, all right. So just so you know, man, is that, look, am I just trying to get the sale here? I'm not trying to get the sale here, because you're saying that you'll come back in a couple of days or a week, everything like that. And look, man, I know that you'll come back in a couple of days or weeks. I know you will. It's not the point. I'm actually willing to lose the fucking sale right here. Knowing that you'll come back in a couple of days, knowing you'll come back in a week or so, I'm willing to lose it because there's a point here. And the point is that where you want to get to is that your mindset is right here. Now, where you want to get to is up here. I'm just going to talk in my business terms, guys, but you obviously relate to your own niche. So right now is that you said in 12 months' time that you want to be doing 150K business, right? Now, right now, that's where you've got to get to in 12 months' time. Right now, your mindset's here. Now, do you have the potential of getting up there? Fuck yeah, you do, yeah? I know you can do it. But the truth is, the person who I'm speaking to, standing in your shoes right here, right now, isn't that version up here right now. Yeah. And if you go out, and I get it, like what's this thing that it's just a pattern and a behavior that you run, is that you like to think over things. before you act. You like to make sure everything's planned out before you act. You want to make everything comfortable before you act. And I get it. But guess what? If you don't make a major change behind that, you're going to get the exact same results that you have today, which is fucking nothing. Yeah. Now, if you're going to be right for this program, guess what? You're going to come in. It's going to be the most uncomfortable thing you've done in your life. You're going to be slapped in the face with a massive fucking fish of discomfort. And if you join our program, which I know, like I said, you'll come back in a couple of weeks, but it's not the point. You come in on a comfortable basis, and then you join, and I'm going to fucking say, Johnny, do this, this, this. And you're going to be like, oh, like, I can't do that. So you're going to be coming in, and you're going to be doing a massive disservice to yourself. You're going to end up wasting fucking 20K, man. I guarantee it. So what this is, it's a mindset fucking thing, is that you are just being tested right now, and the test is, can you pass the test of discomfort? Because you're going to come into this thing, guess what? It's going to be uncomfortable. I'm going to be testing you. I'm going to be asking you to do things you haven't done before. I'm going to be asking you to take action before you can even what you know is ahead. Imagine your first marketing campaign. Are you going to know what's ahead? You've never done it before, so you're not going to know. Sales, your first sales call. You're going to be shitting yourself. You're not going to know what to say. So I'm going to be asking you to take action before you even know what's ahead. So right now, what you're doing is that you want to plan. You want to make sure everything's comfortable before you take a leap into it. And I'm saying is that if you come into our program with that mindset, you'll never take action and you're not going to get the results, and I won't be able to help you out. But if you come into our program and you're sweet to get uncomfortable, you're sweet to take a step forward before you know what's ahead, that's someone I can get results for, yeah? So regarding, if you think I'm trying to get a fucking sale right now, then fucking hang this fucking phone up, because that means you're not trusting me, man. And I really do not care, man. I care for you and I really want you to do this right now, but I'm unattached to fucking sale, man. I'm attached to getting a result for you. And the information I have at hand is that you're like, Luke, I want this life, and this is the life that I really need. I need a change. And guess what? You said that, Luke, in order to get this life, I need your help. So because you've told me that, man, I'm sticking with you, and I will stick with you for as long as it takes, yeah? As long as you're saying that right now. So let's just get this fucking sales thing out the fucking way bullshit, and actually let's just see the reality in all this thing. The learning in all this is that if you can't pass this first test, which I get, it's uncomfortable for you, how the hell am I going to get you to $150 fucking thousand in 12 months? Not going to happen. So Gaza, you do the same stuff related to your niche. Oh, we've got 13 minutes. Getting them sold before the objections is what we were talking about. All right. Ryan Bennett, booking calls. How can I improve my stick rate between booking calls? You beauty. All right. Tough question. I even watched your video and I was just like, It's a, maybe actually I might, are you still on here, Ryan Bennett? You are. Bookings last approximately 10 minutes. Gaza, Gary, I feel the need rather than join. I'm feeling the need to join rather than me selling. Totally selling. This is gold. I remember hearing this when you're pitching me, and I felt like I was stepping up, and I've signed the contract. All about okay. Ryan B, man, I'm gonna put you on speaker, and just so I can kind of talk to you a few things, because it's a big question without me speaking to you. Yeah, so I'm gonna chuck you on. RB.
Am I on this yet?
What's up, cuz? You are online.
Hectic.
What's up, man?
Wait, hang on. Let me shut my door.
Shut the door. Okay, so
I was going to put a shirt on. Oh, it's good. It's good. I'm not on camera this
time.
Off,
man. Leave the shirt. I can feel the difference between whether you got a shirt on and shirt off. So you're saying, man, that you haven't used the stick rate, yeah?
Yeah. Just I don't know. They just disappear. They just drop off the face of the earth.
Well, let's just go through a few things. For starters, is that why you got to look at why are they? So you're getting bookings, but they don't rock up, right?
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of bookings.
Yeah. Getting a lot of bookings. Okay, so people that don't stick, it's for a number of reasons. If you're actually getting a lot of bookings, yeah, it normally, because when I spoke to you last year, yeah, you were saying that your love was high, but your leadership sucked. But then when reading your thing, you said that apparently you're like a colonel now. Is that the go, or what's the story?
Yeah, my confidence, self-confidence and belief in myself and the program is just ridiculous.
All right, so you're an absolute beast now. So I reckon, man, what it will be, because I used to get this, and it's what happens. So you're saying that your leadership's through the roof now, and your love's way lower.
Yeah, I'd say the love is still there because I do really get on that emotional level with some guys, and they're usually the ones that fuck me over the most.
Okay.
Like, because I have my whole past with addiction, I do get a lot of guys, and that just might be it. Like, putting myself in that position, 5 years ago, I'd probably be like, yeah, on the phone, and then go smoke a bong and be like, nah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I would say a couple of things why they're not sticking. Number one is that you either haven't balanced out the love and leadership, right? So either one's too high. So it's way too much love, not enough leadership. So they just think, oh, this dude's just a fucking pansy, pushover. I don't respect him. I'm not going to bother with this shit. Yeah. It's just a load of crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next thing is that leadership's too high. Love's too low, and they're just like, they book you because they're fucking pretty much scared. And they're just like, this person's an arsehole. I'm not getting coached by this person. So that would be the first thing, man, is that be wary of it, exactly where your love and leadership's at, and do your best to keep it at a really high level and almost be auditing yourself on the call. Where am I at with my love and leadership right now? Shit, I've been going way too lovey-dovey. Let's increase this leadership here. Or, man, I've been way too hard on this person. I need to just give this person a little bit of love. That's the first thing. The next thing is that they think they're going to be sold. Yeah? Right?
Yeah.
So scale of 1 to 10, how salesy do you think you are on this call? 8 minutes.
On the booking call, I feel like, they know there's a sale coming.
Yeah.
Like, there's a program coming. I'm talking about the program. They applied for the program. I mean, they should expect it in my mind.
These are opportunity leads, are they?
Yeah.
All right. Can you tell me really quickly, like, how you just seed your program or talk about your program or open up the call or whatever it is?
So from the get-go, like, we'll have a little banter for a second, and then I'll be like, all right, bro, like, basically, this call I like to keep real short and sweet, 10, 15 minutes. It's really just to see if, you're a perfect fit for the program you applied for. If the program's a perfect fit for you, I want to run you through the 3 different things that are in this program, because it's a lot more than just a bloody body transformation.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the call, if you're still loving it and I reckon you're a fairly good fit, I'll move you along to a coaching call, and that's where we're really going to get into it. Set some massive goals and pretty much lay out the plan for the program, how we're going to get you the results, how I can guarantee the results. Yeah. And from there, if you're an awesome fit for the program, if the program's an awesome fit for you, then we'll get you started.
Sweet, man. Okay.
And then
okay. One thing I'd do with that, man, is lay off the program a little bit and talk more about giving them fucking value. So it's almost like the program is the last fucking thing. Yeah. So it's like, all right, okay, so what we do with our op leads. So I'll be like saying like, hey, Ryan, what's going on, man? Luke here from Winning International. I'm the head business coach here. Yeah, I've actually got your number because you put your name down for our 100K PT challenge, man. Just to let you know, we get a lot of PTs put their name down for this thing, yeah? Like different levels in their business, different seriousness levels. So we obviously don't chuck anyone into it. I just need to find out a little bit about you to see if you're ultimately right for this thing. And just to kind of let you know how it goes, is that, look, I've got a program where I help out, But before we even talk about that and consider it, is that I actually put people through a strategy call, and what I do from that is I help out with this, because it's not just a matter of me going, here's my fucking program, do you want it, yeah? Because 2 things have got to happen. Number 1 is that I really need to find out if I can actually help you out. And I can't help everyone out, man. Like I could help as many people as I can, but the truth is I just can't help every single dude out. So I need the time to find out if that you're that person who can. On the flip side of it is that you also need the time to get a feel for me, man, because like you don't want to work with anyone. So that's what I know. Like I know that you kind of put your name down for the program, yeah, but that's like a last minute thing. If we needs be, we can talk about right now. I just want to focus on finding out a little bit more about you and helping you out where you're currently at and getting you towards your goals. So is that cool? Okay, so see how there's kind of less emphasis on the program?
Yeah, definitely.
You're still being real clear with them. The next thing is that what do you give them before you do two-step, yeah? Booking to pitch. What do you give them before the booking to pitch? Like, are you telling them shit about your program and stuff like that and prices?
Nah. So are you talking about what I send them before the coaching call or clarity call?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll send them the link to the fucking massive Facebook page and tell them like there's a ton of videos on there. I'll probably go live before we actually start, like before our next call. So like suss out how I teach. Like I'm a bit more direct. I'm not here to like fuck spiders. So really see how I coach, just through my lives. I'm also going to send you a bunch of before and afters. I want you to notice the guys putting on 7-8 kilos, but dropping like 5% body fat, which is just unheard of.
Okay, so you don't talk about your program though. You don't mention prices.
No, fuck no.
Yeah. Okay. I was thinking that you'd be losing some people from doing that sometimes. So if you're not doing that, it's all good. So I would say, man, what's that?
If they ask, then this is what I've got heaps of clarity around, talking to Arachi and James Wellington and everyone I can get a hold of on the phone these days.
Yeah, bro.
They'll ask and I'll be like, look, we've got repayments starting from like $50 to $150 a week. If you pay for it up front, it's, $1,200, less than $100 a week. And then, they're just two big numbers, even though it's cheap as shit.
Yeah. And we look with that.
Bumping those numbers up, by the way.
What's that, man?
I'm bumping those numbers up to 3K soon. Coming for Nick.
Man, how are you do it? Like you're getting a lot of sales, Jimmy Taylor. Did you get 7 sales, man, in the last week?
Yeah, I just added it up. I cleared 10.6K this week.
Fucking boom, man. Awesome. So obviously what you're doing, bump it up, man. But kind of getting back to the program thing, right? Less emphasis on the program. So one thing that I say in the booking call is that I'm like, look, you're probably, so you can open up saying, look, I know you put your name down for this thing, and look, I've got a program and like that, but what I actually do, this is the process, right? I've got this thing called the Body Transformation Clarity Session or some shit like that. What it does this, is that I actually put everyone through this. Everyone must go through this first, and you're going to learn heaps about this. And at the end is that, like, okay, so actually kind of scrap that. So there's a part that I say about why the sessions are free, right? Because this is kind of after you've built up all the actual value in these free session, yeah? And you're probably going, all right, so you're probably wondering why this session's free, yeah? Well, ultimately, I get clients out. This is how it works, yeah? It's like I take a lot of people through it. They get that much value out of it. They learn the gaps that they got. They learn where they are and how to kind of get to where they want to go. There's a small percentage of people that turn around and in the end want to work with me, yeah? Now, Dolores, you may be someone that wants to work with me in the end. You may not be. Either way, either way is fine. But then I kind of detour and I go off to another point. But like I was saying before here, or like I was asking there, so what are you wanting to achieve? And Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? So what I'm kind of getting at, man, is that less focus on this program, because this is the truth, man. Out of 10 people you speak to, one of them from the get-go is probably thinking where I could do this guy's program, right? 1 out of 10.
Program, right?
Now,
1 out of 10. Yeah.
it's like echoing. Have you like changed something?
No, it was just cutting out a little bit. It's all good now.
Okay. So let's just say that you initially speak to, there's 10 people that you got leads for. Now, one of those 10 people are probably thinking, yeah, I could actually work with this dude. I'm serious and I'm ready to move. Yeah. Now, out of those other 9 people, there's probably 7 of them that if you burn them too early, you haven't given them the time to remember, raise their standards with their life and be opened up to the idea of actually paying more money for this thing and doing it, stretching themselves and doing all that. Does that make sense? So if you come in too early and punching them with this program's about this, and like, fuck, they're freaking out, they're going to be sold, or you're dropping in prices and things like that, and whether you're saying $50, $150, they might be like, oh, I would have maybe spent $20, but if you get to the end and you've given them that much value and they're like, man, I can't not spend $100 to work with this person. You haven't had the time to build that value up, man. Yeah?
Yeah.
Be real careful with it. And look, you can even talk shit as well. If someone talks about prices with me and they're adamant, they're sticking at it, I'm just like, look, man, like I don't even know, like we've got prices to suit anyone, man. Adding them from $50 a week to 400, like $400 a week, man. But right now, like I've got no idea where you're at. I don't know what you need to learn. Same thing, you don't even know much about us. You don't even know if you want to work with us. So the price thing, man, it's not a discussion now. Yeah, it's a discussion that we have at the end if we choose to and if you want to. Now, I've spoken shit about the $50. The idea is that at the end of the day, man, you can, when you get to the end, they go, oh, what about the $50 or what about the $20? They're like, well, basically the service that you need is this high, not the $20 thing. You know what I mean? So, does that make sense?
Yeah. So more people qualifying, because that's what I've got from all my calls with everyone lately, that like as soon as they've applied, I'm like, I need, there's no more qualifying.
Mm-hmm. What was that question, man? So you're saying more qualifying?
Yeah. So like the booking call and even the coaching call needs to be like more to see if you're the perfect fit, like to see if we're even going to consider working with each other.
Well, if it's an opportunity lead, right, is that your whole goal is to see if you're going to help this person out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're going, hey, I'm looking for this person to join my program, you're like, look, man, I need to find out if that's you and test you with everything. So everything from how you deal under high stress situations, how do you deal with thinking on your feet, how do you deal with getting uncomfortable. So, for example, if you're coaching them and, were you around when I was talking about the guy that said, I suppose?
No, I think I jumped on late.
With that. So the saying, man, is that you just don't want to do a boring sales call because the real value comes from you getting off track. So if it's just a sales call and they're like, oh, I want to change this, I want to change that, and you're like, yeah, you can do that. You just got to do this and you got to add your numbers up here, you got to add numbers up there. But remember, you got to raise their standards, man, and you got to look for opportunities to raise their standards in everything because that's when they meet you and they're there, and then by the end of the second call, they're up here, they're going to go, man, in the space of 2 sessions, this dude has a massive impact on me, raise my standards here. So imagine what his fucking paid program's about. Yeah. So the raising standings comes from looking for areas to raise their standards. It could be that punctuality. I remember I spoke about punctuality last year, and then you said you were a little bit sketchy with that. Have you changed that up?
Oh, like being on time and shit.
Yeah.
So
punctuality, yeah. If they're 1 minute late, call them out on it. If they don't get through the shit or they get through it 80%, fucking call them out on it. If they're giving you answers and it's shitty answers, man, call them out on it. Obviously, you have to majorly balance this with love, but the idea is, man, you don't make these calls comfortable. You have to. Your goal is to raise their standards because when it gets to time at the end to ask for, are you ready to jump into this thing? If their mindset hasn't changed from down here to down here, they're going to say, I don't have the fucking money. It's too expensive. Yeah. Right time. But if you raise their standards with, this is who you need to be to get results. This is who you need to be to get results. This is who you need to get results. This is who you need to get results. And then you're like, all right, let's fucking do this. Then they're like, I get it. I need to fucking change, which means that I don't even know where I'm going to get the money from for the next few months. It's going to be tight, but effort. I get it. raising standards, man, throughout these coaching calls with everything. Look for areas to coach them. Like,
Yeah.
knowing Tony Robbins stuff. So, for example, I did a call today and I started off the call going that, you know, look, the truth is, we're just calling Jimmy. Jimmy is that, the truth is that coaches, a lot of coaches have an infatuation. They have an infatuation around the idea of building their coaching business. They want all the upside, but they are ignorant to the downside. Yeah. The upside is that, well, I get to change people's lives on a really deep level. All my needs are met. And then I'm like, all right, opportunity to do a coaching session here. Yeah. I'm like, are you aware of the 6 human needs? He's like, nah. And I spent 15 fucking minutes, man, speaking about the 6 human needs. Went through every fucking need. I gave examples of how all human behavior is controlled by meeting these 6 human needs, yeah? So when you understand them, you can look at someone when they behave in a certain way and go, they're meeting this need, this need, this need, which is going to give you a way to actually help that person out, influence them, help them get out of it, whatever it is right now. I spent 15 minutes on this thing, and by the end of it, he's like, fuck. And I said to call him Jimmy, I said, now this 6 human needs thing is once you feel it, fully understand it, is that you can pass this on to your clients, yeah? He says you get to understand why they behave. Why is it that they turn to food as opposed to going to the gym? Why is it that they just want to sit on the couch as opposed to get up? Because you understand this thing, and it's going to be an awesome thing to be able to coach them. So the point of what I'm talking about here, RB, is that it's like for me to go in that, I've given him a massive lesson, and it's just like all he's doing is he's like, fuck, man, this dude like knows his shit. He's like, I didn't know crap. I thought this is what I knew and this is what you maybe need to know. This guy's raising my fucking awareness and standards in life, yeah? So raising standards. Does this make kind of sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not just a sales call, man. It's like you're coaching the fuck out of them.
Yeah. I've been doing that on booking calls, and like they're the few that have turned around and just straight up blocked me. It's like I just get I've been doing a lot more of like Tony Robbins stuff, and like talking about trying to find their passion with like the Eulerian Destiny thing, and like just a few things that like can instantly, like, yeah, like you said, within 10 minutes, like just change how they look at life.
Yeah.
And then they're the ones that usually end up blocking me on Facebook and like before the coaching call. It's like really
pissing.
I think that's the leadership part, is they're so scared. They're just like, oh fuck, I've just got to block him.
Yeah, well, shit, man. Find someone else or find something else to say. But the whole idea with this person is that you're coaching them. You're balancing it with love.
Yeah.
So, look, man, this chat could go on for years, yeah? But we're going to wrap this thing up. I hope you got a bit of value out of this part here. I hope it's helped out a little bit. With everybody else, I was going to leave you there. RB, man, we'll catch up soon.
Too easy, brother.
See you, bro. All right, everybody else. Yeah, so that's it. I will speak to everybody soon, and the Q&A is out. Happy selling.